Anyone else just really tired of egomaniac billionaires who don't feel like $1 billion or more is enough for them, so they have to go and ruin everyday Americans' lives? If you are feeling that way, I so feel you right now. And I'm tired and sick of it already. And we're just getting started in 2025. So here is the good news. Last time Trump was in office, I felt like I needed to get more control back into my financial future. And I started the money habits that now he's back in office. I went from $300,000 of debt to now being a debt-free millionaire. And I'm not saying that to flex. I'm saying to you that if you want financial independence, if you want freedom, if you want to stop having billionaires control your life and your livelihood, then we can't control what the billionaires do, but we can certainly change what we do in our own households. And so I would love for you to watch this clip I had from a recent interview with Yahoo Finance on the simple ways that you can start changing your budget today to get more control of your expenses, especially with an upcoming Trump recession, and making sure that you keep yourself safe and sane. Let me know what you think, and please subscribe to this channel because I'll be sharing more tips for everyday Americans to fight against oligarchs and make sure that we keep more money in the hands of people who work hard and deserve it. See ya.
Over 77% of Americans have some sort of debt, according to the Federal Reserve. And the best way to get rid of that debt, pay it. Straightforward, right? Well, our next guest got herself out of over $70,000 worth of debt using some simple budgeting strategies. To discuss, let's bring in Bernadette Joy, who is the Crush Your Money Goals author and money coach. Bernadette, great to have you here with us. All right, so you were so successful at this that we got to share some of these tips with our viewers as well. And there's something that you have that you call the 3-bucket method. Break this down for us.
Sure. So a lot of budgets feel very complicated, and honestly, a lot of people fall off of budgeting because it gets boring and really mundane. And so I just put down my budget into 3 major categories. It's strive, revive, and survive. And survive is half of your budget. I suggest that people try to aim for no more than half of their budget going to their necessities, and then splitting the other half of your budget between things that you want, revive, so the happy things, the things that you enjoy spending money on, and then the other quarter of your budget that's focused around paying off your debt and managing your savings.
Wow. Okay. And so for people right now that might be watching and say, hey, you know, that boat that Bernadette was in with that $70,000 in debt, that sounds quite similar to what I might be going through. What was your thought process? How did your mentality have to change?
Yeah, so it was actually $72,000 of student loans. And I know a lot of people are feeling that pinch right now. And my thought process was pretty simple. It was, I don't want to live in this debt forever. I want this debt to be a short-term solution for me, which was to go back to school and get a degree. And I don't want it to be a long-term lifestyle. And I think right now, a lot of people just are accepting the fact that debt would be a long-term lifestyle for them. And instead, I really want people to think, hey, I'm in debt right now, but this is not forever.
How can people make the choice about what debt to take on, good debt versus bad debt?
So I actually don't believe in good versus bad debt. I think all debt is debt, and characterizing it more around how it makes you feel. So the simplest way that I tell people to focus on paying down debt is around the debt snowball. I particularly am a big fan of it. I had a psychology degree. I also found that it worked for me personally and for many of my clients, where instead of trying to do all of the math and trying to say, okay, well, you know, I'm going to math my way out of this. Truthfully, if you're going to math our way out of it, then we wouldn't have been in debt in the first place a lot of times. So I suggest people to try the debt snowball, which is really just to focus on your lowest balances first. Even if it's 0% interest, even if there's other things that are higher interest, what I found that works really great for a lot of my clients is that it starts to build that momentum. It starts to build that confidence that, hey, I can do this. I'm capable. I'm smart. And also it's just less things to have to worry about later on.
You know, it's really interesting. You were mentioning that much of that debt that you carried was from your collegiate experience, from university. And so there are a lot of students that are either just getting started, might be midway through their higher education, and trying to make sure that they're not amassing debt over that time. What is the perhaps smart money habit that they can put into effect right now that's going to help them for when they're ready to walk across the stage and effectively be able to apply that skill that they've picked up along the way.
Yes, I actually just wrote an article about this for kind of new grads and first-time professionals, and it's to practice budgeting now. So while you still have the time and while you still have, some of the things that you can control within your expenses, is to get in the habit of budgeting now, even if you don't have a lot of money coming in. And specifically, once you graduate, again, I focus people on trying to get their necessities under 50% of their total income, even if that means you're going to have to make some short-term sacrifices, knowing that will pay off in the long run. All
right, just lastly here, let's talk about something fun. Financial freedom. How did you know when you were truly financially free?
You know what I will say is, for me personally, so I'm 39 years old. I have enough money now to retire at 40 next year. And the moment that I felt financially free was when I started looking at that budget and I didn't feel anxious about it anymore. And I know budgeting can be really stressful for a lot of people. And the reason that people avoid doing budgeting is because when you look at it, it makes you feel bad. But there came a point where I started looking at my budget, and it was a couple of years ago where I was just like, I actually look forward to doing my budget. I actually have money that I can spend that I don't have to feel guilty about.
All right. Look, well, if you can retire next year, Bernadette, hopefully we can continue talking to you, but enjoy that retirement. Why not? Bernadette Joy, Crush Your Money Goals author and money coach. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely.